All right, well, D.C.'s spiking crime rate is sparking concerns about safety and all types of actions. So far this year, we've talked about this story a bunch. So far this year, overall, for example, 932 carjackings. That's 77% of which, by the way, involved a gun. 259 homicides, a 34% increase over last year, and overall, a 27% increase in crime. There's been a lot of talk here about, what political decisions have potentially maybe led to all of that. But now there is a political storm of a much different type sweeping through the local community here in Washington right now. The NBA's Washington Wizards and the NHL's Washington Capitals could be moving from the middle of Washington to suburban Virginia, which would be a major win for Virginia and its governor, Glenn Youngkin. Julia, this was like a backroom, very secretive conversation for a while, and then bang, it exploded, and it caught the mayor a bit flat-footed here.
Absolutely. I want to come at it from a personal lens and a political lens. First, for the political lens. Big win for Youngkin, especially after Youngkin had a loss of his own with the FBI headquarters going to Maryland. This will do a lot for the Potomac Yards area, Alexandria, Northern Virginia.
That's the other side of the river.
That's the other side of the river. And for Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., look, she's not facing re-election. I think she's term limited, so there might not be any, political repercussions for her in that sense, but definitely not the best look.
So she's controversial, right?
Yeah.
The D.C. mayor, Bowser, fair to say. She was asked the other day in all of this. So underneath the basketball arena here, there's a metro line. The metro is like the underground subway train system, right?
Florida man.
I've lived in D.C. I lived in D.C. for 2 years. Out in Maryland now. And she was asked about essentially the metro stops, and this was her response.
Every line goes to Gallery Place, right? Red, blue, orange, and yellow. Yellow and green. Is that right? I think that's right.
She didn't know. She got caught flat-footed. I mean, is that...
And that's incredibly awkward because, it is a major metro hub. She's probably getting mixed up with Metro Center, which isn't far from Gallery Place. But that should be an argument she has in her pocket because there are young Washingtonians like myself who aren't exactly looking forward to crossing the river. Crossing the river for us is a mental exercise. It's a lot. So she should be able to make that argument.
Manchester.
It just doesn't. I'm just very sad.
So you're going to make a much different argument here. Go.
Well, I wouldn't call the mayor controversial. Does she have her sets of challenges?
Sets of challenges. Okay. All right.
I'll say it that way. Sarah Palin said she can see Russia from her front porch. Politicians say things in a moment of frustration or confusion, whatever you want to call it. But you mentioned the backroom dealing, having conversations, Youngkin and others. I think some could make an argument that this is why we need statehood in D.C. so they can have governmental representation at every single level so that when Youngkin is negotiating, D.C.'s governor or senator, whoever is also doing the same. I said some can make the argument.
Some can make the argument.
Some people are saying.
That was Tina Fey on an SNL skit that said that I can see Russia from my house, acting as Sarah Palin. That wasn't her. But second of all, I would say, listen, Mayor Bowser has not been able to get crime under control in her city. Right. I'm pulling for her. It's a tragedy. The criminals committing the acts are getting younger. And so it's creating an inhospitable place for a lot of people. And so this is certainly on her watch and partly her fault. She's not taking care of the city on its most basic functions. And so she should not be surprised that she lost she is losing a major source of revenue for the city.
Billionaires shaking down taxpayers for subsidies so that they can build even newer, nicer stuff is a story that happens all around the country. The important thing here is that we can hope that it's bad for the Capitals, because as a Penguins fan, I want the Capitals to lose.
So take a turn somewhere.
I just hope that's the net effect.
All right. Well, and Elizabeth Vargas, thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.